Have you ever seen or heard of someone who bought land for 800,000 naira and after 10 years, that same land was sold for 50 million naira? And you are wondering, how did they make this thing happen? Now, that's how people buy and sell land and make money from land investment. And I remember in 2021 how we assisted one of our clients to buy land here in the city of Enugu. As of then, the land was selling for 30 million naira. Now, fast forward to 2026, we had the same client to sell the same land for 70 million naira. That is over 15 million naira on the that's return on investment. That's the profit that the client made. Now, you need to understand there's something that this our client knows about land investment that many investors are not really aware of. And in today's live streaming, we're going to share with you top secrets that investors, in fact, smart investors, make use of to make massive profit from their investments. Now, first, before we proceed to the live session of today, it is very important that you know who we are, just in case if you're coming across our live session for the first time. So we are Braudy Global, a real estate marketing and development company that is based in Enugu and Abuja. By that, I'm saying that we have our physical offices in Enugu and Abuja. Now, as a company, we help individuals like you make secure and profitable real estate investments. We sell land and houses. Just in case you're an investor watching this video and you are looking for land where you can buy and start building, or you are looking for a land basically for investment purposes, or maybe you're looking for a house where you can just buy and then move in with your family, we have those properties available. All you need is just to reach out to us on the number showing on your screen, on the number that will drop in the comment section. All right. So before we proceed, my name is Opalek Emmanuel. I'm a real estate consultant based in the city of Enugu. And here with me is an amazing brother, amazing friend, someone who is very experienced in the real estate industry. So, Sam, you will know you, please.
Yes, well, my name is Jesse Anozie, and I'm a real estate consultant and expert based in Nigeria, in Enugu to be precise.
Yes, sir.
All right, so today we are going to be talking about a very important topic, right? For those looking to know how people, smart people, make money from land investments. And I want you to know that there are some factors that you need to consider when buying. Like there's some factors you need to consider that will enable you make the money from land investment. These are factors that bring that money fast. So people don't know these factors. That is why they don't know how to make money from land investment. And by the way, there's a lot of money to be made from land investment.
Much money.
People are cashing out daily.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they won't tell you how to do this thing, right? But this is why we are here today. We're here to give you those secrets that you need. I will enable you to know what you don't know or know what they know and then key into it. And you too can make so much money from land investment. And then the first thing you need to understand is timing. Now, generally, timing is one of the key factors in every aspect of real estate. Timing is that factor that helps you, enables you to make money from land investment, whether you're buying or you're selling. If you don't understand the time in it, you're going to miss out on some windows, right, in making land sales. Right. So timing is important to know because when you're trying to buy a land, you need to understand what time do you buy that land.
That's right.
So people usually buy land after a time has passed. You know, even the Bible talks about the Kairos and
Chronos time.
Chronos time. This is still in time.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So real estate also has time. So there's this time where things are happening. Now, before those things start happening, you can go and buy that land. Right? So first of all, I want to establish a basis that says that first of all, you need to understand that time first before you can truly enjoy the benefits in real estate. All right. So now time also has to do with also selling off. When would you sell off? When is the right time to sell off? All right. So this is one of the benefits you're going to get on today's live stream is to understand that timing is a very important factor. All right. So people make money from real estate via knowing an area that is emerging. Then they go ahead of people to buy into that location, and then you can sell off. This is one way timing is very important. And timing also affects the next factor to look out when trying to buy a land in Nigeria or Enugu, and how to make money. What we're concerned about now is how to make the money, right, in the land investment. And it also affects, timing also affects the next point, which is the location, right?
Yeah. All right. That's an amazing explanation. All right. So the next factor on the list, has already mentioned that, is location. Location. And like he rightly said, he said that timing also affects location.
Yes.
That's very, very, very important.
It does.
Because people sometimes when people want to invest in real estate,
Yes, sir.
especially first-time buyers, I've noticed that they don't really take out time to consider these factors.
They don't.
So they just feel like once you have money, you just go and buy land anywhere, whether it's maybe somewhere very far.
Yeah.
So they don't really take out time to consider the relevance of location in real estate investment. And like you mentioned, timing. So they feel like you can just wake up and buy anytime. They don't study development. They don't study timing.
Exactly.
They don't know when best to buy and when to wait.
Yes.
So, and the next factor is location. So as an investor listening to us, if you want to buy land, one of the major factors that you need to consider is location, because location largely will determine how fast the value of your money can appreciate. That's why sometimes you hear people say that, I bought that land, but for more than 5 years, there's not been any significant appreciation.
Exactly.
Yeah, I bought that land, but this one is not giving me any return. Yes, it is scam. Oh, this and that. And so this is something that investors don't really understand.
Yeah.
So location is a great factor to consider when you want to buy. So you're looking out for good locations depending on your purpose of investment. Maybe you want to invest on long-term purpose, or maybe a short-term purpose. Location is also a great factor to consider. So if you want to buy something that is short-term, it matters the location that you're investing into.
That's right.
You cannot be thinking of short-term investment and you are thinking of a that is very far, underdeveloped, where there is no significant development
happening.
And you want to invest then, and then maybe in 6 months, in 1 year, you want to get a profit or return on your investment. It's not possible. Sure. And now when we talk about location, we are not talking about a specific area. We're talking about positioning yourself properly.
Exactly.
We're talking about direction. We're talking about where development is moving,
heading towards. Yeah.
So these are things that you need to consider, because if you don't really consider location as an important factor or a factor that influences land investments,
yes,
you might end up making the wrong investment.
That's true.
So as an investor, you're planning to invest, possibly or probably you are a first-time buyer, and you are listening to us thinking about, I want to buy land somewhere in Enugu,
yes,
or maybe any part of Nigeria, and you are listening to us. Please take out time to consider location. Take, for instance, if you're here in the city of Enugu, you need to study development trend. Places where developments are happening already, places where developments are moving, emerging locations. These are things that you need to look out for and you need to consider before you invest into any states, especially here in the city of Enugu. And just like you are listening to us, in case if you are just joining us, please, if you can see us, type 1 in the comment section. And if you can hear us, please type 2 in the comment section. If you can see us and also hear us, type 1 and 2 in the comment section.
That's right.
And just in case you're coming across this live stream for the first time, please, we would like to know you. Just let us know your name and where you are watching us from. All right, we'll move to the next factor.
Yes. So before we move, basically saying that there are two major types of investment. We have the long term and the short term.
Yes, sir.
And these major factors are still dependent on location and time.
Exactly.
So before we head this back to the third one, you need to know that you understand what we've gone through so far, which is the time and the location.
Yes.
All right. So if you're looking for a short-term investment that is making money through lands, but in the short term, now you need to consider that you need to be buying into a already developed area.
Yeah.
Now, what does short term means? It means that you're looking to buy, make profit, buy, sell, and make profit within a period of 1 to 2 years.
Exactly.
How does this happen? This happens that you go into buying into an already developed place where there is demand.
Okay.
So you go there, you buy it,
Mm.
and then hold it for 1 year or 2 years, and you
sir.
sell it off.
Yes, sir.
However, long term, if you're looking to make money via long-term investment in land, then you'll be considering a location that is not in town. You consider a location that is underdeveloping,
Okay.
or there is prospect of development heading to that location.
Okay.
All right. So this will bring me to my next factor, which is budget. When you have a budget while looking to invest, a budget guides you, it shapes you, it helps you from going overboard or breaking the bank, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you have a budget, now your budget will also determine when you need to buy the land and where you need to buy that land. All right. So when your budget is up, like for example, your budget is going from 70 million naira to 100 million naira, and you want to make a land investment, this one can be a short term.
Okay.
Right? And you need to buy into a location that is already developed. For example, if you're very concerned with Enugu, you would know that some locations are more expensive than the others.
Exactly.
Right? So when you have 50 million naira to 100 million naira and you want to buy land and flip it and sell it in the next 1 year, 2 years, you can go for locations like Independence Layout. You can go for locations like the Centenary. You can go for locations like Trans Ekulu.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is an amazing environment and neighborhood right
Exactly.
It's fully developed also.
Yeah.
All right. But then again, when your budget falls from between, let's say, 2.5 million naira all the way to 10 million naira, now there's also a space for you in the market.
Yeah.
So all you need to do is look consider emerging locations where development corridors are moving towards, right? Here instead of Enugu. Another perfect example, if you know Enugu very well, you're going to know that these emerging locations falls in between the Enugu-Abakaliki Expressway axis.
Exactly.
This is where your budget falls into perfectly, without pressure, without you breaking the bank.
Yeah.
But yet you're going to derive the benefits of land investment. You're going to get that benefit, isn't it? And that's the location again you're going to be considering if you're here in Enugu is the 9th mile axis. In as much as 9th mile is a home of industries, but yet the prices still fall between that 2.5 million naira to 10 million naira. You're going to be getting amazing properties there that will still give you future appreciation on it. In fact, you're going to be making so much money in these locations. All right. So budget is a very key factor. Are you a first-time buyer looking to start your investment journey? What is your budget? You need to describe your budget to yourself.
Yeah.
Map out a certain amount of money that will enable you enjoy the benefits of land investment. So if your budget is as high as 70 to 100 million naira, you're knowing that you're going to city town, right? You can just purchase a land for 70 million naira. And in the next 1 year, 2 years, you're selling them for 100 million naira. You've just realized 30 million naira, quick cash. And the beautiful part is that you don't have to do anything on that land. Just buy the land. All you need to do is just buy the land.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yes. So then if your budget, you've determined that your budget is 2 million to 10 million naira, then you can go for locations that are emerging. And how then do you need these locations? This is another question people ask. How am I going to identify the location? Supposing my budget is 2 million to 10 million naira. How do I identify a location for me? So there are several ways you can identify the location.
Okay.
You can engage the services of professionals. You can engage the services of an estate company, a certified, credible professional real estate consultants. You can work with individuals who know this business.
Yeah.
Apart from knowing it, they're willing to tell you and share more information, tips, and guides with you.
Yeah.
All right. So when you talk to them, you tell them that your budget they tell you the location that you can use your budget and go and buy in order for you to make profits. So we're interested in you making profits from land investment. We want to show you how to do this land investment the right way and profitably. So yeah.
So just a little to what you already said. So while you were talking also, I remember there's persons, when we talk about budget,
Yes, sir.
they don't really know the reason why we talk about budget,
As a
why
factor.
as a factor why they should have budgets.
Mm.
Now, one of the reasons is that you need to understand that budget helps you not to be under financial pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if you don't have a budget, you can fall for anything.
True.
Now, it's possible
True
that not having a budget can make you make the wrong investment. So you gave us instances of places that a specific budget can buy property can fit into.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the Enugu Abateke as there's a specific budget for that kind of
location. Yeah.
So if you don't have anything within such budget, you cannot get property there. And you mentioned independence layouts, and there was also a certain amount. You mentioned 100 million and above.
Yes, sir.
That can get you, that can fit into such location. So budget is very, very important, because I also believe that one of the reasons why people get scammed is that they don't have budget.
True.
And they don't understand the terrain where they want to buy a property. So take, for instance, someone has a budget of 2 million and wants to buy a property that where property is there, the entry level is like 10 million naira.
Oh my God.
And now you are coming there and someone is telling you that in such location you can get a property
Oh
for that
my
amount.
God.
So that's why sometimes people get scammed.
Exactly.
So when you have a budget and you mention working with a real estate professional, you mention real estate agent, a real estate consultant, people who understand the terrain.
Yes.
I mean, these are local professionals. They know how real estate works in that kind of location. And in fact, also you need to understand that real estate is best understood on a local level.
True.
So you cannot be in Abuja, or maybe let me just say Lagos, and you say that you understand how real estate works in Enugu. You can have some knowledge.
Yeah, that's peripheral knowledge.
Peripheral knowledge on the surface level.
Yes.
But if you really want to know how it works, you need to meet people who are operating in Enugu State.
True.
Real estate consultant.
Yes,
so you need to have a budget. It helps you not to be under financial pressure. Number one, it helps you not to make the wrong investment. That's number two. And number three, it helps you not to fall made victim of those fraudster people who scam people of their hard-earned money.
Another bonus point is that when you have a budget, it prevents you from being swayed.
Yes.
How do I mean?
Okay.
You didn't have a budget, but you wanted to buy land.
Yeah.
But you, in your mind, that you already known that I want to buy land of 10 million naira. But because you didn't stipulate a budget, I can come and tell you that, oh, come and buy here. Here is 15 million naira. She needs close to 10 million naira.
Yeah.
Come and buy here. But you know that if you stretch that far, you're going to be affected. This is one of the reasons where some people have been stretched. They now want to sell off prematurely.
Exactly.
Because they were stretched.
Exactly.
So now they don't have any money on them. They have to go and sell. Real estate or land investment is not a quick money scheme. Get rich scheme.
And even sometimes they set below what they bought.
Because they were pressured.
Exactly.
And this arose because they didn't have a budget. But then when you have a budget, it's 10 million naira, 15 to 10 million naira.
Yeah.
So when I'm offering you a property that's 15 million naira, I'm sorry, this property is nice, but I want 10 million naira. Because that is the size of your coat at that time, right? So cut your coat according to your size.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
that is your coat for that time. However, you can increase it when you have reaped the benefits. Right? So then you can increase your budget.
Yeah.
And then reap more benefits. But at the time you're starting, your entry level needs to be stipulated and fixed. You don't have to break outside that budget that you put for yourself.
That's a nice one.
Yes, sir. So yeah, so well, moving forward.
Okay, so just in case you're still watching us, hope you are getting value from our discussion today. Just in case if you receive value, just type value in the comment section. And if you can still hear us and see us, please let us know in the comment section. If you can see us, type 1. If you can hear us, type 2. All right, so we'll move to the next segment. Now, you remember when we were talking, we mentioned about part of our discussion for today that will be giving you top secrets
Yes.
that these individuals use to make money from real estate. So we gave a case study why during the intro. We mentioned of our client that bought property in 2021.
Yes.
And that same property, as of then, it was selling for 13 million naira. Fast forward to 2026, we helped the same client to sell that property for 70 million. That's over 50 million naira profit return on the person's investment. That's the client. Now you are wondering, these people that made this kind of money, how do they put this thing through?
Yes.
Now we're going to give you the secrets, the top secret that they use. This secret is not known by average investors.
No, it's not.
Many people don't know about it.
Yeah.
So, but we just want to, because you are in this live session, we want to quickly unveil this secret to you. All right. So, if you want to make money from land investment, here is the first thing that you need to do. First, you need to buy into emerging locations. So while you were talking, you mentioned emerging locations. So how do you identify a location that is an emerging location? How do you know if a location is emerging? Now, there are a few factors that you need to look out for. So you need to look out for if there is little or visible development. So you're looking out for infrastructures. You're looking out for road construction. You're looking out for government presence. Now, I'm talking about government presence could be maybe government institution or institution that are built for public purposes. I'm talking about like hospitals, like schools. And then also you need to look out for government proposed projects.
Sure.
Now, for emerging locations, sometimes government can come and say, oh, we are mapping out this location for a particular project, maybe for a school, maybe for a hospital, or maybe for a market. So when you start hearing governments maybe trying to develop an interest into a particular location, and they say they are going to do so and so in such location. Now, as an investor, this is the best time for you to position yourself into that location. So that location is already an emerging location. Very soon, other development will start coming up. And when you see government constructing roads, now there are places that maybe years back, they used to be known very bushy. Now government now start road construction. They start building maybe one or two projects. Now demand start going towards such location. Now that kind of location is what we call emerging location. Now here in the city of Enugu, we're listening to us, and you have an interest to invest here in the city of Enugu. One of those emerging locations is Transeku estate, that's Transeku in general. I remember years ago when the government started a federal housing project in Transeku. In fact, that was one of the things that made Transeku to become very popular. So it was because of this federal government project that made Transeku to become very popular. People started buying. They started having high demand of land in such location. In fact, at one point, it started becoming scarce. So properties in such location now skyrocketed. Then, as of then, maybe 6-7 years ago, properties in this location, Transeku, you could get a property maybe as low as 10 million naira.
Yes, sir.
But now, for you to get a property in such location, you should be counting 40 million, 50 million, and above. So, as an investor, once you see this kind of development in a particular location, now some location is termed as an emerging location, and that's the best time for you to position yourself and take advantage before the location becomes very popular to people, and people now start moving in. And by then, the property value must have increased exponentially so that you might not be able to buy again.
That's true.
So we'll move to number two.
Yes. So to add to what you said in the first one, buying to emerging locations. This is where that factor timing comes in.
Exactly.
Exactly. At that point, you are not buying when the place is already high. You are buying before the high. You know, real estate favors those who understand time and patience.
Exactly.
So when you're buying to that emerging location, you're going with time. Time is also a very key strategy to position yourself rightly. Buy into that location. So when all these government presence, infrastructure development, housing projects come in, you're already there before them. Now, how do you make money? So when people start coming and demand is going, you can now resell if you want to. But how do you resell at that time if you don't have before that time? You know, you not make money if you're buying the same time with them because they are coming that same time. So when you're buying into education that already has a hype or has a name, you're late. All right. So when the real money is made, it's buying before coming.
Exactly.
And the second point on how you can make money, real money from land buying is by taking advantage of pre-sale prices. You know, some locations or estates, when they're newly launched into the market, they often start as pre-sale.
Yeah.
Now, why is it at pre-sale? So these are the developers trying to reward early visionaries who see the value in what they're trying to do. So they bring the prices down at discounted rates, which are the pre-sale prices. So people who buy into them, the developers are rewarding them for seeing that, for seeing the vision they're trying to engage in this place.
Exactly.
So when they launch, example, I launched Jesse Estate, I would first give a promo price or a discounted rate to people who will first buy. I might want to use the money to secure the property. So the developers use the money that at the pre-sale price to take possession of the land sometimes. This is where they start to erect the perimeter fence. This is from the monies they've gotten from those who have believed in that vision. And they've given them at a pre-sale price. Secondly, they might want to use the money from the pre-sale to settle the community they bought it from. You get it now? So this is a way, as a smart person, you can buy into. When you see an estate alert, it often starts as at a pre-sale. For example, an estate is launched at 25 million naira market value, but a pre-sale price of 20 million has pushed on. Smart people rush that 20 million naira. Now, when they buy that 20 million naira down, they begin to even realize the amount, a return on their investment, even as the price becomes the actual market value. They've really realized it. And that is, it won't stop there. As the property keeps developing in and around the property, the money keeps rising. They keep enjoying benefits, all right, only because they bought at the pre-sale price. Now, people will now know about the property when it's at 25 million, which is the actual price, and they'll start buying at that time. But they will still enjoy some benefits, but they've already left some money on the table. Right? People who have the real advantage are those that bought at that 20 million naira pre-sale price. So one way that a smart person makes money, a businessman, a smart person, investors make money in real estate is they take advantage of pre-sale. Once they see an estate alert, pre-sale price, they rush it. They don't even wait 1 minute. They rush it and they position themselves rightly, and then they make serious money from it. Yes, sir.
Wow, that's a nice one. All right, so the next on our list on how you can make money from land investments is taking advantage of promo sales. So I just want to see this from a different perspective. So I just want to see promo sale as an elder brother to pre-sale.
You get?
Yes. So if you miss the opportunity of buying into pre-sale, and like you mentioned, no, pre-sale is when the property is at its lowest level.
Yes.
There's no other level,
lower than that.
It can get it. Once you move from that pre-sale to another level, it's going up.
Once the price is changing, it's going upward. It's going up. It's not going down.
It's going up. And sometimes real estate companies, they map out a specific number of plots to sell for pre-sale.
Yes, sir.
And once they hit that target,
the price
even if you are the brother or maybe the uncle or the uncle's father,
in fact, you don't have sold it to them, they will not give you.
They will not give you. Even if you are begging, they will not give you. So promo sales is more like the elder brother of pre-sale. So if you miss the opportunity of getting a property at pre-sale value, then the promo sale is promo sale. So this is when and this is how most real estate companies do it. Before a price moves to a new price. Now this is not pre-sale to a new price. It moves possibly from the actual price to another price higher than the actual price. That's when they give promo sales. So the idea behind promo sales is also to generate more revenue, possibly for future development.
Yes, to bring more infrastructure.
Exactly, into the estate And also what they do is that at this point, they can give discounts. So you hear real estate companies say, okay, buy 6 plots. So if that 6 plot was to worth 10 million naira, they can give you at 9 million naira. That's the promo there is that 1 million naira discount.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can hear some real estate companies say, okay, buy 10 plots and then get one for free.
Yeah.
You get. So that's the promo. So the idea is just to get more investors, generate more revenue for future infrastructures. So just an you want to invest here in the city of Enugu or in any place, one of the best times to look out for property, just in case you miss pre-sale, is to look for promo. Now this promo doesn't come often. That's why you need to be very watchful. You need to be
alert.
You need to be alert. You need to study. You understand? Look out for companies, properties that are selling on promo. Because when you get it on that promo, you'll be at advantage, although not compared to the person that bought at pre-sale, though you are still at advantage because the value of that property will keep appreciating, just as demand and other development comes into that particular property. So as an investor, promo sale is another time for you to key in into investing in any land investment here in the city of Enugu.
Yes. And I would love to add that in an estate, once another level of infrastructure comes in, the price goes up.
Yeah.
So once another level, any document added to that property, any infrastructure added to that property, for example, when the property is launched, probably it's just a bare land.
Yeah.
Once they put perimeter fence on that property, the value adds, it goes up.
Yeah.
When they do drainages in that estate, the prices go up again.
Yeah.
Once they make third roads in and around that estate, the value goes up. And at this point, they announce all these promos.
Yeah.
And they give you chance to lock in. So real estate keeps giving. Land investments keep giving you at every point. So after the pre-sale price, if you missed out there, it will still give you another chance again, which is at the promo size.
Exactly.
When the property is about to appreciate.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes you see properties selling for 5 million naira, and you see alert price increase is going to 7.5 million naira. You can key into that part.
Yeah.
Immediately as you see that thing, smart people rush and key into that. Already saving themselves 50%. Because even when the prices change, you're still looking in at that price of the 5 million naira.
Yeah.
Even when it has gone to 7.5, but you're buying at 5 million naira, you're already appreciating 50% on your property. Right? So promo sales is very important that you key into it. Once you see a promote site, a promote sale alert, this is how you're going to make real money from land investment. People often ignore it. People see it as ordinary. But then again, other people see it as a gold mine. And then the fourth way you can make money from real estate, legit money that people don't tell you every day, is through taking advantage of distress sales. All right. So people who have bought properties, all right, now want to sell off their properties because they have emergencies.
Yeah.
They have a pressing need. They need to offset immediately. So they have properties. So they now decide to put up their properties. But because they need the money now, and Iboman will say, also.
Yeah.
Then they reduce the price. So you can have a property selling for 5 million naira.
Yeah.
Because that person is in need. Most likely he wants to jackpot. And he needs money to add up his money.
Not jackpot to leave your land.
He wants to jackpot.
Yeah.
So he needs some money to put together his papers.
Yeah.
Then he said, oh, I have this land though. Let me sell it off. But I need this money today. So instead of 5 million, I'm giving that 2.5. Smart people rush that 2.5. All right. Now, you know that this property is selling at 5 million naira, but you're buying at 2.5. You're making money. Now, you're not buying at the original price. So it has saved you some money.
Yeah.
So you need to spend that whole 5 million naira. Now you're spending 2.5, keeping 2.5 million naira. You've made some money. All right. So people make money from distress sales. When you say distress offer, please don't look away. Take advantage of it. After you take advantage of that 2.5 million naira, do you know that you can go ahead and sell at 5 million naira? Exactly. Because you're not in a hurry. All right. Not as much as you bought from someone that is in a hurry to sell, probably has an emergency or has a pressing need. But you, as a smart person, can buy it and decide to still sell at the real market value, and you're still going to sell. So you made money twice. All right, this is what an average person do not know. All right, so this is why we are here to share with you these important and juicy
Yeah.
factors that you need to consider and make money from real estate. If everybody had known this, almost everybody would be into real estate.
Exactly.
Because this is where you make money without incurring any little cost or no cost. Imagine buying a land and the land is working for you because you took advantage of either buying to emerging locations or you bought at a pre-sale price or you bought at a promo price or you're buying at a pre-sale price. Either ways, you're making money from your land without having to stress yourself. So you don't even have to be present to make money from real estate.
Yeah. All right. So still on this distress, I remember speaking with a prospect.
Yes,
so
sir.
when we mention this distress sale, people misunderstand it.
Right?
So people think that when there's a distress, simply means the property has issue.
No.
That's what I remember.
That's the general ideology.
Honestly, yeah. So I remember one of them said, okay, why is it on distress? Is it because it has an issue? And that's what most.
That's the general belief.
That's what most people who are not that knowledgeable when it has to do with real estate investment, or probably have not bought any property sold on distress sale.
Sure.
So they think that distress has to be that the property has issue. No, that's not what it means.
That's not what it means.
Like he mentioned, in fact, primarily why we companies or individuals place properties on distress is because they need something to settle. Maybe they need capital, money to settle an issue that is mostly sold on emergency. Take for instance, you mentioned earlier, someone needs money to travel out, or maybe to help his relative to travel out.
That's true.
You understand? Or maybe there's a need for to acquire more properties, or even invest in another property, bigger opportunity. So that's when they can place a land, any property on distress for sale.
So they can gather up their money
and
go for something else.
Yeah, so they're taking it below the market value.
Yeah.
And it's a great advantage for you because as an investor, if you buy a property selling on distress, you can still take that property to actual price and still say and get return on your investment
again.
So it's still at advantage when you buy on distress. Yes. So while you're listening to us, please, if you can see us, hear us, please drop one in the comment section. If you can see us, drop two in the comment section if you can hear us. And we hope you are getting value. If you are getting value from what we discussed so far, please drop value in the comment section.
Yes, sir.
All right. So just in case you're wondering and asking, okay, you've been talking about how to make money from land investment. So I know you guys have properties in Enugu. Are there available properties that will help us to make money? I mean, based on what we discussed so far, we talked about pre-sale, we talked about promo, and we talked about display. So do you have properties that can help us make money when we invest in your company? Yes, we do. And we're going to be mentioning two properties for you. First, we need to talk about Peace Garden Estate. So Peace Garden Estate is an amazing property here in the city of Enugu. So it is situated, or rather it is located adjacent to Gulf Annex Estate, and it is very close to Transeco Extension Phase 6. Now, if you are very familiar with Enugu, you know about these two locations. They are developed locations. These are where people are living. And while we were discussing earlier, I mentioned to you that the idea behind, or what really made Transeco very popular, was because of the federal housing project by the government. That's what made it very popular. And now, currently, there are massive structures in Transeco. There are massive structures in Gulf Annex Estate. I'm talking about residential homes. I'm talking about commercial properties, plazas where people are doing business or either living. So Peace Garden is just located adjacent. And now the good thing about Peace Garden is that the property value is way lesser when compared to these other two locations. So if you're an investor, you were able to take advantage of these two locations when it started selling at a very low entry level. Maybe you did not know anything about land investment in Enugu, or even you were investing there, but you didn't get to hear about these two locations. Now, Peace Garden is that location that you need to invest into so that you don't make another mistake. So for Peace Garden, the price currently is selling on a pre-sale price of 20 million naira. Now, for properties in other locations like Gulf Annex is selling for between 40 million to 60 million, but Peace Garden is selling for 20 million naira. That's a very low entry level for you. I mean, as an investor, even when you don't have the complete money to pay outrightly, you can start with 10 million naira initial deposit. While you get to spread the remaining 10 million naira if you are buying on pre-sale over 3 months. So if you can, while you are listening to this live stream, you can take advantage of that price because you don't know when the price will move to the actual price, which is 25 million naira. Now, the good thing about Peace Garden Estate is it comes with a registered deed and a registered survey plan. Now, what that means is that the property is registered with land registry. Now, the government is aware of this property. The government has no interest over this property. There's no land dispute. There's no any form of encumbrances over this property. It's a property that you can buy and you will have peace of mind. You are sure of full security. And now currently we are very serious with development, infrastructural development in this estate. We started the perimeter fence, which is about 70% complete. Now we are working on the gatehouse. By the end of this video, we're going to show you the video so that you see what I'm discussing or what I'm talking about. So we've done the perimeter fencing. Currently, we're doing the gatehouse. And then very soon, every other development in the estate, like drainage system and every other thing will commence. Now, what that tells you as an investor is that we are very serious with development in this estate. Each plot in this estate measures 500 square meter. That gives you enough space just in case if you want to build in the future. Meanwhile, this property is for investors who are looking for buy and build here in the state of Enugu. You're looking for affordable buy and build that is very genuine. Now, you want to buy now and then build. Maybe you don't want to build that, you want to build in a few years, maybe 2 years or 3 years. This property is that property for you because the good thing now is if you buy now, when it is still selling on a pre-sale, you can even keep that property until you have the capital to start erecting structure on your plot, maybe in the next 2 years. Because if you have to wait 2 years before you buy, the property, I tell you the truth, will skyrocket to 40 million, 50 million because development is coming into that location. And you know one thing about development is one of the major factors that causes land appreciation. It affects the value of land. And already we are doing development in the estate. There are developments around, and you are sure that very soon the property value will increase. So it's also for people who are looking for, who want to build legacy. So you're a father or you're a mother and you want to build generational wealth. I mean, you're considering the future of your children. Now, this property is that property that will help you to build legacy. So you can buy now in the name of your children, or even buy when your children now get to the age of maturity, when they become adults, you can now transfer the title over to them. So this is also for you if you want to build legacy. It's also for people who want to land bank. So land bank simply means buying a property now, then in the future you can resell, maybe in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. So imagine buying this property when it is selling for 20 million naira. Imagine what the same value, the value will be worth in the next 10 years. It will be up to like 50 million, just like the likes of Transeco and then Gulf Harness. So the property will definitely appreciate. So you can buy with the intention of selling in the future. So you get your profit, your return on investment. So if you are watching this video, I know that this property that I've described to you is something that you like to look into and invest. We'll drop our number in the comment section so that you can reach out to us so that we'll discuss further every information that you need, or if you want to make an inquiry about this property, we are ready to take you to the site so that you see the development that is already happening. Then you can buy as many plots as you want. So we'll just move in to the next property.
So, secondly, if you're ready to invest in Nigeria, supposing you're a Nigerian living abroad, you're seeing this video and you're ready to invest. Now, one of the desires of Nigerians abroad is to own a property back home.
Yeah.
All right. This is to the benefit as you can own a property that will be making you money even if you're abroad. Without you doing anything, just have this property that will be making you, yielding you money. Then this property is for you. All right. One of the regrets many Nigerians have is not being able to invest back home in Nigeria or the city of Enugu, as to be precise. Right. This is the request they have over time that if they had known, they have started sooner. All right. So the best time to have invested in land was like 10 years ago. But the next best time is today. Now is the next best time. So if you're that person looking to have an investment back home, back in Nigeria, Enugu to be precise, then this property is for you because this property is called Grand Omega City. And it is at a level in which you can enter into this property safely, securely, and profitably. As currently, this property is selling for 5 million naira. So if you have a budget that is below 10 million naira, this is also the property for you, because one of the things you need to work with in making an investment is a budget. Now, if you're that kind of person that says, oh, I have 10 million naira and I want to use this money to invest, then great, because this property is for you. It's a juicy property because it comes with a title that is the highest in Nigeria. This title is a C of O, which is a certificate of occupancy. So if you've been hearing or you're doing research about real estate and land transactions, you should come across a title called C of O.
Yeah.
This is the highest title document in Nigeria, and this property I'm talking about has this property, has this title, and also it is in the right location. This is a location that is experiencing development, and like I said, development is one of those quality factors that increases the value of a land. In fact, development is a factor that announces appreciation. When a development comes into place, every property within that location automatically appreciates. This property is just 15 minutes away from the international airport. It's around the MNA axis, and it is experiencing a lot of development. In fact, the government has a presence there as they're actively opening up the roads, accessibility and dualization of the roads, which means that the property is very accessible. It doesn't have any form of congestion. It doesn't have any form of congestion or traffic.
Yeah.
But where there are good roads, to access a property is very easy. And this property lies in this axis. Like I said, it is selling for 5 million naira. And as a matter of fact, by next month, in a few days' time, this property is going to 7.5 million naira. So why don't you key into this property at this time that is 5 million naira and enjoy 50% appreciation already? Just when you buy it now, just now, you're going to experience 50% development as the property is moving to 7.5. So you don't want to key into it at 7.5. Rather, you want to key into it at 5 million naira. Like I said, it has a C of O. Some people know it as a global C of O because it is the highest title in Nigeria. All right, and this property is in the right location and it will fit into your budget. Supposing you have a budget that is below 10 million naira. Like I said, it is very close to the international airport. So, as a Nigerian living in diaspora, imagine any property that when you land in Enugu, just about 15 minutes from the airport is your property. You can see the property. And if you're also looking for future growth and appreciation, this property ticks that box also, where you can just buy the property at 5 million naira and wait. Just buy the property and hold it on. All right. And when it gets to 3, 4, 5 years, believe me, this property is going to be selling for as high as 30 million naira. Imagine something bought at 5 million naira, selling at 30 million naira. You should know what that value is. I love real estate because that's numbers. The numbers are very clear. It's one of the reasons why I love real estate. You're going to be knowing at every point what your property is generating for you, either as a land appreciation property or even a rental property. At every point in time, you're knowing your figures and you're seeing your money, the appreciation, the return on investments all at once. So if you're ready and willing to take advantage of either of these juicy and amazing opportunities right here in Enugu, you don't want to miss out, check around this video, the comment section or on the screens for our numbers showing there. And what you can do today is to call the numbers. Apart from that, we can also guide you. We can give you tips, strategies on how you can invest properly right here in Nigeria, Enugu to precise, give you updates, knowledge, advise you that will make you see value and returns on your investment today.
Wow. All right. So hope you got value from what we shared with you so far. We want to thank you for tuning in and also saying to this point. All right. So we're going to play the video. I mean, the 2 properties that we mentioned towards the end of this video. But just to remind you also, we are Braudy Global. We are a real estate marketing and development company. We have our offices in Enugu and Abuja, and our properties cut across these 2 states. So whether you are looking for land, you're looking for house, or land where you want to buy and then start building immediately, or basically for land investment, we have all this in our portfolio. So all you need to do is just to reach out. If you want to invest in Enugu, reach out to us through the number on your screen. If you even want to invest in Abuja, you can as well reach out to us and we'll guide you on how to make the right investment. And once again, we hope you got value for whatever we discussed. So we're going to play the video for you so that you watch.
And remember, real estate rewards those who understand time and patience. Regardless of where you are, you can reap the benefits of having an investment. There are endless benefits to having an investment. All right. And land investments pays you without you stressing yourself, without you having to do anything. The only thing, the only action is to make a call and make a payment and watch your property make money for you while you sleep. This is only when you're truly wealthy.
All right. Thank you so much for sticking to this point. See you.
Enjoy a great day.
Yeah. Please, we'll play it now.